afternoon, everybody. How are we all doing? It's a warm one today, absolutely gorgeous. Must be at least 24, 25 today. And as you can see, I've clearly caught the sun a little bit today. So, went out this morning and so I managed to get to the Kingdom Hall, which was absolutely fantastic. Got to see everybody again and say hello to everybody that I know. And strangely enough, there's a lady actually that she lives literally around the corner, which is really fantastic because we're now going to keep in touch. We've invited each other over for coffees and things like that, which is brilliant. But one of the things this lady sent to me, bless her, which was absolutely lovely because we'd sort of spoken and we've had very similar situations, or her and her husband have, to mine, where family don't agree, sort of thing. And what was really lovely was she actually sent me a scripture which is in Deuteronomy, and it's 31:6, I think it is, off the top of my head. And this verse literally says, "Be courageous and strong. Do not be afraid or struck with terror before them. For Jehovah your God is the one marching with you, and he will neither abandon you nor desert you." And I really, really loved this verse. I thought it was quite on point, actually. And I'm not going all too religious sort of thing, but it was really, really comforting to know that somebody had been through the same thing. And this verse was really lovely because for those that do believe in a God, it is nice and comforting to know that there's always somebody there watching you, there's always somebody there with you. And the fact that we've been made and created by somebody, and even our existence, when we actually think about as capabilities as humans, what we can see, what we can do, what we can feel, smell, touch, even down to the fine-tuning of his brain stems, something's obviously created that, because there's so many different complex parts to his body, to different parts of objects, trees, flowers. There's so many fine details in it that obviously something has created us. So it's fascinating, it's really fascinating. But one of the stories which I'll tell you today, and bear in mind there's no coincidences, so this was absolutely such an amazing story, and it was told in the Kingdom Hall today. And this is a true story as well. So there was a guy in Holland that was at one of the Kingdom Halls down in London today, and he was conducting the service. So he gave us 3 different stories, all of which were true. And one of the stories that struck me in particular was so fascinating, and it really got me thinking. So this gentleman had been in a congregation with somebody in the Netherlands, and this particular gentleman, he didn't sort of say what his name was, or if he did, I can't really remember it. But so there was a guy and his wife. They'd come from Indonesia, spoke English, and they'd moved to Holland. So they'd moved to the Netherlands, learnt Dutch, joined the congregation there in Holland. And this guy worked on the railways, so he sort of had to get called out early hours of the morning, evening, 24/7. He was on call to do emergency repairs. And one night he got called out to do an emergency repair. And so this gentleman had gone to do this emergency repair, but in the morning his wife found that he'd not come home. She waited another day, he'd not come home, spoke to the police, spoke to people, members of the congregation that they went to, who also got involved to try and look for this guy. Police couldn't find him. They did a huge search by all accounts. They did a search in Belgium as well. Could not find this gentleman at all. I know nearly a month had passed and this lady had not given up hope. She knew that, or she didn't believe that her husband had died or anything like that. She believed there was something sinister, but wasn't sure what. So, unbeknown to her, this gentleman had been thrown out of somebody's car in Belgium, was admitted to hospital and had amnesia. He could not remember his name, his identity, could not remember his age, couldn't remember where he lived, nothing about his life. Everything was just blank. So anyway, he ended up spending however long in hospital, was released and discharged. And as days and a few months passed, this gentleman was in a homeless shelter where they were helping to rehabilitate these people, other people that had had accidents as well at the same time. And he was learning how to weave baskets and things, something like that, along the lines of. And what had happened was he noticed a book that was on the shelf, and this book basically said The Way to Everlasting Life, and it was a Jehovah's Witness book. And for some unknown reason he picked that one out of all the other books. He said there was numerous other books, picked that one out, began to read it, said to people that were at the homeless shelter, I want to go there, can you take me to this place? They took him to this place, took him to the Kingdom Hall that was there, because the address was on the back of the book, and he started attending the congregation. Now a month had passed. Unbeknown to this guy that he was already a witness, that he'd already been baptised, he ended up getting baptised again. So one day he was doing ministerial work, so what Jehovah's Witnesses tend to do as well, which some people might have seen them with the carts, and they have what they call the Watchtower study books that they hand out to people in public. So this guy was at a particular popular place near a zoo in Belgium, popular tourist attraction, and he was handing out these Watchtower books. People from his original congregation in Holland were there on a trip and actually recognised this guy. Went over, unbeknown to him, he didn't know who these people were, had no clue. And at first they were a bit sort of taken aback, they were a bit shocked, almost like, how do you not recognise us? You know, you've been coming and seeing us, you've been studying with us for years and years, you have a wife, which he had no clue that he had. And in the end, so the people from his original congregation, should I say, went to the Belgium congregation and managed to show him pictures, give him details about his life, and in the end, you can see where the story's going, they managed to connect him with his wife again. And it was just such a fascinating story when you think that there are no coincidences. And out of all the books, this guy said to me that out of all the books, there was different religions in this community centre too, or in this homeless shelter, should I say. You know, Muslim, Christian, Baptist, all sorts of different religions. So he could have literally picked up any book. And it was just this one particular book that stood out for him. And if he hadn't have picked that book up, he wouldn't have gone on to then go to study. He wouldn't have got baptised again. He wouldn't have been doing ministerial work out in the public again. And people from his congregation on that particular day wouldn't have known him or wouldn't have noticed he was there. And the fact that it was 3 months down the line, supposedly, until they connected him to his wife. So 3 months had passed, connected him up again. And in the end now, he actually goes to his normal congregation in Holland again, and he lives with his wife again. And the whole congregation in Holland have had to teach him all about his life, help him remember things, and still to this day he can't remember a lot of his life anymore. And the guy that was speaking from London, that was from the Netherlands, he was one of the gentlemen that actually helped this guy to try and remember his life. So he was from his original congregation. So it was based on a true story. So it was absolutely fascinating for me. I was just like, wow. And quite a few of us were like nearly in tears over this, because it's such a fascinating story. You know, how little things were put in place almost. Because as I said, because he didn't know his identity, the Belgian police didn't know who it was. The Dutch police didn't know who he was. Neither one could find him when they were doing the search for his wife. So it was just remarkable, absolutely remarkable. And, you know, something like that really touches you. You just think how amazing is life. You know, now whether that was God that did that put those things in place, whether it was just, I don't know, a coincidence that he picked that book up, who knows, but something happened, and yeah, it was just fascinating. So I'm just having a walk with Max again, and it's been been quite a busy week again. So I have a friend who has not only cervical cancer, but she has bowel cancer, and she's having an operation within the next few weeks. And this lady is so amazing. I mean, she's a self-employed cleaner. She's also a self-employed carer as well. So helps people to get up in the morning, showering, dressing them, and then she does full-time cleaning as well. Still, even though she's sort of stage 3 for cancer. And so this is like the 3rd time that she's had cancer now. And she has admitted, she said to me, you know, Jo, one day it's going to get me. It is going to get me one day. Which is really heartbreaking, because she's such a lovely person. And it always happens to the good people, should I say. Sorry, I'm trying to get the light right, guys. But she's given me work for a week while she goes in hospital. So not only am I going to be self-employed cleaning, I'm also going to be getting up an extra hour early in the morning to take on one of her clients. So I'm going to be helping to get a lady up, get her showered, get her dressed and ready for the day, and then go straight on to cleaning. And then after that it's school run, and then it's college after that. So it's going to be really, I'm up for the challenge, but it's going to be hard work, and I know I'm going to be really tired that particular week. But in terms of hairdressing, I've pretty much finished my course, which I'm absolutely buzzing about. It's amazing. I'm really, really happy. And last week, I actually cut somebody's hair. So a lady had volunteered to have her hair cut. This wasn't an assessment. It's what they call level 2 enrichment. So it's going on to level 2. but this was sort of tutor led, so we could ask the tutor as many times to help, to oversee, to have a look, to check everything. So I did that, and my tutor in the end, I sort of think there's a bit of a shine there, so it's sort of, she literally said to me, "Jo, to say that was your first attempt," she went, "that was a really great first attempt." And I was absolutely buzzing. I was, really, really proud of myself for that. And, so like even in my 40s, I can still be able to do things and train and learn and study. And given that opportunity, it's just been amazing. And I'm definitely doing level 2, which is a lot harder. It's a lot tougher. And one of the things in particular, people think, oh, hairdressing, just colouring hair, cutting hair maybe. It's so complex, it's so hard. So much harder than what I thought it was going to be. But this one in particular, level 2, is all about different cuts. So I've got at least 8 different types of cuts to do on people. 2 of each. So straight cuts, laid hair, another different type of layer. I've got root colouring, foils to do. There's all sorts of different things to do. So yeah, it's going to be a lot harder, but I'm up for the challenge. I'm really excited about it, to be honest. I'm ready to push myself as well. So it's going to be like, yeah, come on, Jo, I think since studying and things and just being more at peace with my life, being at more peace with myself and more confident about myself, I actually feel proud, and I sort of, what will be, will be. That's the way I sort of look at life now. So, if things don't go to plan, fair dues, don't worry about it, don't stress about it. Because what does that do? It doesn't do you any good, it doesn't help you in any way. And, I see people around me, some people from my past, for example, that they're so quick to get so angry, and even like we've got neighbours as well, and they're so quick to get so angry and fly off the handle and shouting and screaming, and it's just like, whoa, you might know some of these people, I don't know. It's almost like a narcissistic attitude. It's like, wow, why are you getting so angry, and like some of these people in my area as well, especially like the kids, they have little patience for their kids, and it's like, wow, the kids don't stress, it's just they don't know any better. And it's hard, really, it's heartbreaking when people get so angry. And not that I was ever like that, I probably got upset and had little patience maybe, and I'd get stressed. I would get stressed, for example, like even losing my keys in the morning, and I'd get angry or worked up or upset about it at one sort of stage in my life. And now I just look at it as what'll be will be, why get so angry, why get so stressed out about it, because that just causes more of an issue. If you're calm and you look at things calmly, take a step back, have a bit of a breather, and then go at it again, it's sort of, you end up with a fresh perspective almost, and it doesn't always seem as bad, the situation. Look at this, guys, honestly, so beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Blue sky, as blue as you can get. All the birds are out. It's just, everything is so green. It's beautiful. I love it. Absolutely love it. This is perfect. Sunny weather. Absolutely sunny. I love it when it's like this. I don't mind how hot it gets either. You know, the heat doesn't bother me. I think I experienced that. I've probably said about my trip to Lanzarote with my son last year. That got to like 32, and it's like desert conditions, so that was really, really warm. And yeah, that was a bit like, this is hot, but it was nice because there was a breeze. Whereas here, sometimes it can get really intense. It goes from one extreme to the other, does Britain? It really does. So one minute it might be really cold and rainy, the next minute it'll be really, really hot. And as Brits, we have a tendency to sort of complain. So sometimes we complain when it's too hot, sometimes we complain when it's too wet, sometimes we complain when it's too cold. Whereas I'm just like, I love this, I'm not complaining. I'm really not. And there's actually been talks as well of a water shortage now because of the heat. And it has been intense today, it really has. And even yesterday was quite warm as well. But it's been good, I've enjoyed it. I'm just going to swap hands, guys, because my hand is starting to ache a little bit. Oh dear. Max is having a good explore. And as you can see, a lot of the bluebells are still out as well. So yeah, so the bluebells are still out. I think they're dying off a little bit, but I don't know if you can see them in the distance here. So, but yeah, some of them are starting to fade a little bit now. But it's just been so warm that there's been very little rain, which doesn't help. And of course we've got like, so we do have sort of a bit of a stream that goes past here. And as you can see, it's very, very dry. There's not much in terms of water at all. But yeah, everything's very, very dry. And it's actually it's a lot cooler in this wood as well. Yeah. Just directing him which way to go. He does know 9 times out of 10. It's really great as well because he always he does a bit of a run and then he comes back and checks that I'm still behind him, which is good. Still haven't seen these deer yet. I don't think I'm going to get my chance. I'm not up early enough anytime. And I think we're working as well, and in particular possibly helping my friend as well. I'm not going to get a chance to really see them. I'm not up early enough. Well, I am up early enough, but I don't get to do dog walking early enough. As you can hear all the birds still tweeting away. It's so peaceful. And it's been really nice actually. It's great having the weekend off because I can sort of sit in my garden. And in our garden now, the trees have started growing a little bit that we had cut down. My partner has sort of chopped them down a little bit further, but there is still quite a few trees and things, which it's nice because you get a lot of birds. We've had a lot in this week. A lot of plants and vegetables and things are growing, flowers and things, so we've had loads of butterflies, and it's just been, that breeze, sorry, there's a right lovely breeze, it's amazing. Oh, it's wonderful as that, it's so nice and cooling. But yeah, so it's nice to sit in the garden again and listen to all the birds singing. And it's sort of been staying light as well till about 9 o'clock, which is brilliant because I've been having my tea outside. I have a tendency sort of in this particular sort of season to have a lot of salads and things. Pita pockets and salads and maybe new potatoes, barbecues as well. So it's lovely. And yeah, being able to sit outside in the sunshine till late. I think it actually yesterday because I bought like some thermometers for the garden, it actually stayed sort of pretty warm until about, I think it was about 8:30, nearly 9 o'clock, and it was still 20 degrees. So yeah, it was brilliant. But I'll just show you this because it's just lovely. So yeah, it's so beautiful. And there's actually loads and loads of bluebells here as well. Look at all this. It's just stunning. And you really do get that hyacinth smell now. Like when I said in the video the other week that my friend told me that bluebells are actually part of the hyacinth family, you can really, really smell that. It's just stunning. Absolutely stunning. You can see Max there doing his mad dash. It's good because it tires him out a little bit, and it's probably more near like 6 o'clock now, but it's still very, very close. And so especially on an evening, we try and leave it as late as we can, really, because it's still very warm, especially for the dogs. And love this bit, absolutely love it. Look at this, stunning. I mean, you really can tell that I've got the sun today. Sometimes you underestimate how warm it actually is. But yeah, it's been good. I like having a bit of a tan, I have to admit. I'm still a big kid like that. If I've gone through summer and I haven't got a tan, there's something wrong. And it's funny because I used to be so... Me and like one of my bosses, we used to go on the tanning beds all the time. Every week. Well, I'll say every week, probably about 3 times a week. And now I don't necessarily need to. It's quite good. But my partner Adam is one of them people that make you a bit sick. So as soon as he goes out in any sort of sun, he's brown straight away, and it's just like, it's so not fair. But, oh, beautiful. It's really cooled down, and it's just a lovely breeze. Absolutely wonderful. So, going back to this week, I will be shadowing my friend to see what she does for this lady on Wednesday. And I'll be doing more of my hairdressing on Tuesday, and maybe doing another cut on Thursday. We're not sure yet. I might actually be practicing foils, I think, this week, so which should be really interesting. So yeah, it's been good. And I haven't been swimming. I'm not going to be going swimming for a little bit because my hands, you probably won't be able to see too much, but it don't look as bad at the moment, but it's been very, very sore. And unbeknown to me, so I've been wearing these like powder-free gloves. And somebody actually said, because I think it's partly stress as well that's been causing it, like my eczema to come out and things, but powder-free gloves have not necessarily been great. So yes, I'm going to have to maybe use something else. I've got some cotton gloves now, which I've been putting some really great cream on that my friend gave to me. And it's from Temple Spa. So it's like a rescue cream. And my goodness, this cream does wonders. It really does amazing stuff. I recommend it to anybody. And so yes, I've been wearing the cotton gloves and then also putting non-latex, should I say, gloves on top. And that's been really helping. So I just think my hands are very, very sensitive, and yeah, the doctor thinks as well it's like stress related, which, yeah, I can see why at times. And I actually went out with my daughter on Saturday. We went to the White Rose Centre, which was really, really good. I had such a really great time, to be honest with you. And yeah, we did a bit of retail therapy and things, and it was nice to get on really well with my daughter because we don't always see eye to eye. She's sort of in the teenage years and things, and she's going to be doing her GCSEs this week. She did one on Friday, which went well, so I'm really, really proud of her, and hopefully she'll know that. But yeah, I am so, so proud of her, and it's hard, it really is hard, especially when like ex-partners are involved and things like that, and she's daddy's girl. It's very hard to connect with her sometimes. And yeah, it was just absolutely brilliant. And I said to her at the end, I said, did you have a really good time? And she said, yeah, Mum, I did. So that made me happy too, knowing that. So I think it's one of them things. I'm not the only person that doesn't always get on with the teenage daughter. By the sound of it, it's normal for mums, I'm afraid. So if you have a teenage daughter and you're starting not to get along, don't worry, because they do grow up a little bit eventually, and by the sound of it, they calm down as well with the hormones, and things end up being a lot better later on. So it's been a really great weekend. I've really enjoyed it and had fun, and I look forward to every week now. And as I said before, this is the first time this week that I went back to the hall again. So, and I was really, because of the stories that I heard, I was really happy that I did. And I actually said to my partner, I said, do you mind me going? Is it okay to go? And he's such a genuine person. He's so lovely. He basically said, love, do what you need to, what your heart tells you to do, but he said, yeah, I'm okay with it. And it was just, he's amazing. He really is so supportive, even with my business as well, which has been brilliant. But yeah, it's great when you find that perfect person. And it's a shame really, because I'd love to marry him, I really would. he knows that as well. But we've both been divorced, and it's one of those things where once bitten, twice shy, I think. He doesn't necessarily want to get married again. I think I would, but I'd have a really quiet one. So, without further ado, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you again. and the weather is set to be like this all week, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm really happy about that. Love it, absolutely love it. I'm just swapping hands, guys. So without further ado, hope you all have an absolutely fantastic week. Take care and enjoy your life. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Enjoy your life, make the most of it. Opportunities don't always hang around, so if you get an opportunity to do something or to be in a certain place, do it. Just take up that offer, really. You know, I say this every time. Do what you can, you know, as much as you can with your life, because it really is too short. And you never know what's hiding around the corner either, so yeah. But without waffling on too much, take care, lots of love to everybody, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye.